The Nurburgring 24 Hours is officially over, and it concluded with an ending so devastating that nobody could have predicted it. Max Verstappen's highly anticipated Nürburgring debut ended in a cruel, heartbreaking disaster. A race that the four-time Formula One world champion completely dismantled and dominated was ripped out of his hands in the final hours by a cheap mechanical part. But before we get to that agonizing conclusion, we have to look at how this weekend began, because what Max did on track completely rewrote the record books of endurance racing. The Nürburgring 24 Hours has always been a place of pure, unadulterated, multi-class chaos, where even the most seasoned factory drivers see their reputations destroyed in the forest. But the moment Max Verstappen's name appeared on the official entry list for the number 3 Team Verstappen Racing Mercedes-AMG GT3, the entire event transformed into an F1-level spectacle. Over 352,000 fanatical spectators packed into the Eifel Mountains just to watch one man make history. But the Green Hell doesn't care about world championships, and it gave the team a brutal reality check on the very first lap. Danny Juncadella took the race start from P4 on the grid. As the green flag waved, total madness erupted. Within the opening corners, the number 3 Mercedes made heavy contact with Mirko Bortolotti's Lamborghini. In any normal scenario, a high-speed hit like that is an immediate game over. The contact caused an instant puncture. Yet, against every single ounce of logic, Juncadella miraculously dragged that limping, compromised car through the absolute wreckage of the opening lap chaos and emerged in second place overall. That is the Nürburgring doing what it does best: pure, unpredictable insanity. However, survival here is a second-by-second contract. Navigating through heavy, multi-class traffic, Juncadella eventually dropped back to 4th. He fought like hell to stabilize the car in P3, surviving the opening hour until lap 7, when the team executed an early pit stop. Because of the alternate pit stop cycles and strategy shifts, by the time Max Verstappen officially strapped into the cockpit and returned to the circuit, the team had plummeted all the way down to 10th place, P10 on his debut stint, surrounded by aggressive traffic. And what happened on his very first flying lap is the exact reason why everyone watching held their breath. Let's be honest, going from a perfectly predictable, high downforce Formula One car to a heavy, aggressive GT3 machine on a blind, bumpy circuit is a psychological nightmare. And right out of the gate, the Nordschleife tried to humiliate the world champion. Max immediately began pushing the absolute limits of the car, launching into traffic, but the track bit back instantly. While attempting a ferocious pass through a fast section, the Mercedes caught a massive, uneven bump on the asphalt at Flansgarten. The car went airborne, the rear end snapped violently at lightning speed, and the car slid sideways, lightly brushing the steel barriers. The commentary box went completely silent. Thousands of fans in the forest gasped. It looked like a definitive, race-ending impact, but somehow, genius took over. Relying on the kind of borderline alien car control that only Max Verstappen possesses, he gathered the violent slide, stabilized the chassis, and perfectly saved the car right on the knife's edge. He didn't just survive, he kept his foot completely pinned to the floor and didn't lose a single position. The message was clear: the Green Hell tried to break him, and Max just bit back harder. From that exact second, an overtaking masterclass was born. Verstappen became a driver possessed. On lap 9, he hunted down the number 26 Mercedes, muscling his way past to grab 9th. One lap later, the number 7 Lamborghini was dispatched for 8th. By lap 12, the next victim was a BMW, easily cleared for 7th place. But then came lap 13, a move so absurd you genuinely have to watch it 3 times to believe it. Max caught the number 47 KCMG Mercedes-AMG GT3, driven by Jesse Krohn. Instead of waiting for a long, safe, straight line, Max pulled the car out at full throttle, threw it completely around the outside, and literally ran 2 wheels onto the wet grass at over 200 kilometers per hour to force the position. The crowd went absolutely ballistic as that piece of pure dirt-tracking madness secured a net P3 for the team. We already saw this in Japan. Different car, different country, same result. The moment Max looks uncomfortable is exactly when he becomes dangerous. While Max was treating the track like a video game, the Nürburgring was busy systematically destroying the rest of the top-tier factory field. First up was Thierry Vermeulen in the number 45 Realize Kondo Racing Ferrari 296 GT3.
Trying to force an aggressive pass through traffic, he made heavy contact with a slower Porsche Cayman, launching the Ferrari hard into the wall and destroying the beautiful GT3 machine instantly. Moments later, total chaos hit the Grand Prix section. Massive confusion over a Code 60 slow zone caused a violent chain reaction collision, and Alex Sims in the high-profile number 16 Scherer Sport Audi got caught right in the middle of it, completely crushing the front end of the car and forcing an immediate retirement. But while everyone else was crashing or backing off, Team Verstappen Racing threw a massive strategic curveball. On lap 15, they dived into the pits. Instead of changing drivers, the team decided to leave Max in the car for a grueling double stint, recycling him back onto the track in 5th position. And right on cue, the famous Eiffel weather arrived. Light rain started falling over random sections of the 25-kilometer loop. It was a logistical nightmare. Half the track was bone dry and sunny, while the other half was slick, greasy, and treacherous. Most drivers immediately slowed down to survive on slick tires. Max? He did the exact opposite. On lap 16, he pulled off a brilliant tactical move, catching a BMW completely flat-footed and napping the exact millisecond a caution zone turned green. Then, on lap 17, with rain actively making the track surface lethal, Max went full send into turn 1. He dived deep down the inside of the iconic number 911 Manti Racing Grello Porsche, driven by DTM champion Ayhanchan Guven, stealing 3rd place with absolute authority. He was using the rain as a weapon, while everyone else treated it as a threat. And that set the stage for the single most breathtaking moment of the entire race. On lap 19, coming down the ultra-fast Döttinger straight, Max spotted his ultimate opportunity. Slicing through the slipstream at terrifying speeds, he executed a legendary double overtake, passing both the number 67 HRT Ford Mustang and the number 34 Walkenhorst Aston Martin simultaneously in one breathtaking sequence to take the overall lead. The grandstands erupted. Max immediately dropped the hammer, pulling out a massive 25-second lead before handing the car over to Jules Gounon on lap 22. But the track kept fighting back. Around hour 5, a major oil spill triggered total chaos. Circuit legend Kevin Estre spun his Manti Porsche on the oil, ending his race instantly. Moments later, Arjun Maini spun his Ford Mustang in the exact same location. As darkness completely covered the circuit by hour 10, Lucas Auer took over the number 3 Mercedes, engaging in a nose-to-tail war with Fabian Schiller in the sister number 80 Windward Mercedes, pulling off a sensational move around the outside of Schwedenkreuz to hold P1. With 13 hours remaining, Max Verstappen climbed back into the car for the ultimate night shift, trailing the lead by 6 seconds. On lap 69, Max caught up to racing veteran Mauro Engel in the number 80 Mercedes, launching a decisive move around the outside of Tiergarten to snatch the lead. But Engel didn't back down. On the very next lap, going down the Döttinger straight at 2 a.m. in pitch-black darkness, the two Mercedes went wheel to wheel. Contact was made. The high-speed impact forced Engel completely onto the grass. Max aggressively held his ground, survived another sketchy moment requiring an insane opposite lock save near the wall, and began dropping blistering lap times in the dark to extend the lead to 32 seconds. By Sunday morning, with just 6 hours to go, Max returned for another double stint. He was a metronomic machine, averaging an ungodly 8:22.1 lap pace over 15 laps, while the chasing number 80 car could only manage an 8:24.2. Max was pulling 2 seconds a lap on the entire field. Even when a backmarker car spun directly in front of him out of nowhere, Max navigated the blockage flawlessly. When he finally pitted to hand the car to Danny Juncadella for the final 4 hours, Team Verstappen Racing held a commanding 32-second lead. Victory was right there, until destiny took a cruel turn. Just 2 laps into Danny Juncadella's late Sunday morning stint, the dream shattered. An unexpected ABS warning flashed on the dashboard. Juncadella tried to nurse the car, but within seconds, severe vibrations and terrifying mechanical noises began echoing from the rear right corner of the Mercedes. At the end of his 3rd lap, Juncadella had no choice but to bring the leading car into the pits for an unscheduled stop. The mechanics immediately wheeled the number 3 AMG into the garage. The diagnosis was swift and devastating: catastrophic driveshaft damage. There was no quick fix. In a 24-hour race, every single minute spent in the garage is a lap lost. Juncadella sat visibly distraught in the cockpit, his head in his hands. The entire team watched in absolute heartbreak as their guaranteed debut victory completely dissolved. After spending over 15 agonizing minutes in the garage, the team managed to get the car back out for the final couple of laps just as a consolation to officially cross the finish line. They finished a tragic 21 laps down in 38th position overall. Max Verstappen's terrible luck at the Nordschleife in 2026 continued, adding to his previous disqualification in NLS2 due to a tire error and a broken splitter in NLS5.
Their Heartbreak became a lottery win for the sister number 80 windward Mercedes of Maro Engel, Luca Stolz, Fabian Schiller, and Maxime Martin, who inherited the overall victory and stood on the top step of the podium. Yet, despite the mechanical failure, Max Verstappen proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that his generational talent isn't locked to a Formula One grid. He dismantled the finest endurance specialists in the world, on their own turf, in the wet, and in the dead of night. After the race, a defiant Max stated that he wants to return every single year, and that Le Mans is next on his radar. Max may have lost the trophy to a cheap mechanical part, but he won the ultimate respect of the green hell. What do you think? Will Max Verstappen return next year to finish his unsettled business with a vengeance? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Click on the video on your screen to see exactly how Max prepared for this madness. Because Max Verstappen didn't just race the Nürburgring this weekend, he made it personal. And the green hell now knows his name.